Good evening, everyone. I didn't expect so many nice words, but thank you, Tam. That was very kind of you, and I look forward to having you on the council as part of the team that's moving our city in a better direction. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you, to be supporting Tam. This is an incredible cross-section of our community. Look around this packed room. I am so impressed with the group of people Tam has brought together. And he listed folks and recognized them, but to have his former opponent, Sukhdev, and the Sikh community behind him, to have leaders in our Muslim community, our Filipino community, our Vietnamese community, of course, to have Sylvia Alvarez here, who spent 30 plus years as an educator and community leader in the community here, to learn more and to hear his agenda and give him feedback. This is, and Kevin, who's out in the villages, who's also spent decades in law enforcement. This is an incredible cross-section of our city. And I wanted to come by for a minute to just tell you why, sorry, I'm trying to avoid the feedback from the speakers there, to tell you a little bit about why I'm supporting Tam. So first of all, supporting Tam because he's independent, which means a lot to me. When I decided to run for mayor, it was because I had been at City Hall for just 9 months. I started to see how the place worked, and I believed we could do better for our community. I knew it. We're starting. But I want to tell you this. When I jumped into that race, what I mostly heard from folks was, it's impossible. You can't win. There's no way. We already know who the next mayor is going to be. And Tam was one of the first people who really early took the time to get coffee with me, to listen, to ask questions, and started making introductions. He helped me build a deeper relationship with our Vietnamese community and understand their experience, their stories, your stories. And he opened those doors because he took the time to listen and make an independent decision when everybody else was running the other way saying this race is already decided. That shows independence, that shows character. I'm also supporting Tam because he's resilient. He told you just the tiniest little bit of his personal story, and I hope he'll share more, but he came here as a refugee, as a child, with nothing. And when I look for the character of the kinds of people I want to be in positions of influence to make decisions on our behalf, I want the person who's going to look out for the little guy, who may not be the most polished, may not have all the policy answers, maybe it's the first time he's doing this job, but he's got a track record of being close to the community, of overcoming adversity, and of coming up from a position of having nothing and knows what that's like. And I think he will always put what I would call the little guy first. I think it says a lot that this campaign is being driven by a diverse range of first and second generation immigrants. That's what's made our city such a special place, and that's really what's driving the campaign. It isn't the establishment. It isn't the folks who have been here and are part of the institutional power in our community. It's the people at the grassroots. It's the neighborhood leaders. It's our immigrant communities who are here because they believe in that quaint notion of the American dream, of coming here to build a better life, to create opportunity for their kids. And what I hear over and over again from our residents in our beautifully diverse city, and I know Tam's hearing it every day out there on the campaign trail, is people say that they don't understand why they work so hard, they play by the rules, they pay some of the highest taxes in the country, and yet the outcomes we're getting are what they are. And that they want to see pragmatism and focus and accountability. That's been our agenda at City Hall. We've boiled it down to just a few issues. We've been very transparent with the community about where their dollars are going and the outcomes they're getting. And I know Tam is going to help us to work through that. We don't have all the answers to solve these problems overnight. It's about having the right process and mindset for getting to better outcomes with your dollars and build trust with you that we're doing everything in our power to get to those better outcomes. And that's the third reason I'm supporting Tam. which is he believes in accountability. And it's one thing to talk about accountability in the abstract as setting goals and making sure that we're being transparent with you, and that's important. And we're doing that at City Hall. We're going to do a much better job of that, and with Tam's help, we'll take that to the next level. But I saw a different kind of accountability from Tam that meant a lot to me, which is when he played that community liaison role in the chief's office. And I just happened to run into him at event after event, playing the role of facilitator, convener, translator, making sure that the chief was hearing directly from community members with no filter, and that we, as elected officials and leaders in the bureaucracy, were being directly exposed to the questions of the people and having to answer them on the spot. He did such a good job as our community liaison, bridging that gap between the people in our neighborhoods, the small business owners, and the power at City Hall, and ensuring that people were getting real, honest, direct answers from their leaders. And so I'm just grateful to him for the way he's carried himself, for his core values, for the character he's built, through all the adversity he's overcome. And I know that he is going to work with me and others at City Hall, most importantly with all of our community leaders, many of whom are here in this room today, to keep pushing our city forward, to be an inclusive city, to be an economically vibrant city, to be a city that is safe, that is clean, where we make room for the next generation by building housing where it makes sense, and where we support our small business owners and really get City Hall back to the basics that made us a very upwardly mobile city for so many years. And we've lost that edge, and we need to get it back for the good of our kids and our grandkids. And I'm excited to work side by side with Tam for that brighter future for our city. So Tam, thank you for running. Thank you for putting yourself out there. I know it's hard. I know you're working 2 jobs right now. You've got 81 days to go. You've got an incredibly diverse and powerful community here in this room behind you. Keep knocking on those doors, and let's go win in November, all right? Congratulations.